Shawty, she a freak, 10-10 freak. She don't want to speak, she want B to the beat. I'm the voice of the street, plus a freak in the sheet. She want me for a tea, I got me for your meat. I am mad. Shawty's in that bam in
Yeah.
Oh my God, I need to tell you my story and how I was nearly scammed out of
Yes.
10 grand.
Yes, that part. Okay, calm.
Yeah, because that was a madness before Christmas. I think we need to bring back the conversation we had about Nala.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
left a very, very long paragraph on YouTube,
Yeah.
like extended. But I think the problem was that because Donald kept on cutting us off, we didn't get the point across
Yeah.
that we were trying to say. Because she was
Yeah.
like, I love your podcast, but you guys don't seem to have depth in your conversations. And I'm like, do you know how many times we've had this conversation about race and like colorism?
It's almost like
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
There.
I felt really like I didn't say in the topics, like I didn't want to say like Nala's video because I
Yeah.
just didn't want
Because
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like I just was like, oh, like the discourse instead
Yeah.
because
Because it's like I still stand
That's
on
what
what
it
I
was, yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Like it's like I nearly feel like, oh man, I don't want to say it on camera because it's like I'm also not trying to like say something wrong. But it's like, thanks, babe. I nearly feel like the minute you talk about anything colorism related, anything racial, whether it's good or bad, you're going to get attacked for your opinion no matter what.
Very true.
Because what we said about the Nala baby incident, I still agree with it 100%. Like that was not the right place to have the conversation. Conversation could have been brought elsewhere, but having that kind of conversation on that YouTube video, that's something that child is going to have for life, that's going to be able to go back and read. And I don't think what her parents do has anything to do with her. And at the
100%.
end of the day, it wasn't as if there was no black kids there. There just wasn't as many
Yeah.
in regards to the mixed race kids. And I completely understand colorism is real. Like we say it all the time. Like growing up, the black guys around us didn't even want us.
Yeah.
So I'm so confused. It's like, am I supposed to no, I think she also said a statistic about Jamaican people having, I think she said something about 50% of Jamaicans have mixed race kids. But that's just Jamaican. Like when it comes to the statistics, I don't know what exactly the percentage is, but like black men marry black women.
No, they do. I think social media has done a good job convincing black women that black men don't pick them. Because like off camera, like I don't have that trouble anymore.
Do you know what? That's why it's true. Like when you
Like
say
I don't
it
have that
way.
struggle anymore of like feeling like black men don't pick. They pick. Oh, they're picking. I can look up the statistic quickly, but what do you want me to look up the statistic?
Yeah, look up the
for?
statistics of black men marrying black women. Like, what's that statistic?
I remember Poor Minds had a guy on and he was talking about it. Remember he was talking about like how like, on social media, it's pushed that like black women are not dating, within their race or whatever, but that's wrong because there's a statistic that like, black men are marrying.
I think it just goes back to what you said about it's just not what we see. And I think it also, people need to learn to be able to differentiate their feelings to what is actually going on.
Yeah.
Like
Facts and feelings.
Yeah, like we grew up in that same situation of not being picked. But I looked at the same video and I wasn't filled with as much anger and hatred because I was able to differentiate the fact that this video was made for a child. I don't think it was made to make black women feel bad.
Yeah.
And I'd have complete different opinions if it was.
Yeah.
It says, according to the US Census, 85% of married black men are married to black women.
That's in the US. I'm pretty sure it's pretty high up in the UK as well.
Yeah, let me look in the UK.
And then again, I don't even like all the fighting when it comes to mixed. Like these kids didn't ask to be born mixed, yo. Why are they getting so much hate for being mixed?
One thing I liked, like, because we were gonna talk about it. Let's say if Dongo wasn't there, like, I wanted to ask what you thought about it. Really, like the whole discourse, against like men dating women that like are lighter skinned, and you yourself being raised up as a mixed race woman. I wanted to know what your thoughts were on that too, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, no, I think that being like as I said last time on the pod, like being mixed is sort of it's a being within yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? It's very different. I think that because you are like being mixed race, you're usually lighter skin. You sound more like the country that you were raised in as well. Do you know what I mean? So, like, let's say for me, for example, like, yeah, I'm mixed race, but I sound completely Irish. Do you know what I mean? So for white men, it's more beneficial because I have the looks of being exotic, as one would say.
Yeah.
But
The fetishization that we always talk about.
yeah, it's fetishization. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think with black men, it could be more so like they just are attracted because I have lighter skin. But to be honest, if I have lighter skin, if I have darker skin, like, you should still take me for me. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be. I don't think, like, our looks will come and go. Do you know what I mean? Like, when we went through puberty, we didn't have it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Now we're maturing.
Yeah.
But when we get older, like, our looks won't be there anymore.
Yeah, true.
So we need to sort of stop looking about like what people look like right now. Do you know what I mean? And actually start getting to know people for who they are and vibing off that.
I think a thing that I just even picked up between what you were saying there is that I think it's something that a lot of black women won't take into consideration, because I know when they think of colorism, they're always thinking, oh, we're not seeing representation. Black women are being treated horrifically, which is all true.
True.
But you also can't ignore the fact that then the mixed race kids always have to sit there and think, am I being chosen for me, or am I being chosen for what I look like? That's a whole other battle
Yeah.
on itself.
Yeah.
And that is like, it leads to identity crisis, because it's like, when growing up, I remember coming across a couple of mixed race kids. You can tell straight away when a mixed race kid is raised by a white woman or a black woman, because when they tend to be raised by black women, they tend to be more African, even though they have the lighter look.
Yeah.
Which is another thing they're having to deal with as well.
Definitely.
That it's, if you're meeting someone who's like that, even though you're both mixed, you're still completely different.
Yeah.
So sometimes when mixed race people are like growing up, I remember specifically in secondary school, this girl called Miriam, she was, I think, half Sudanese. And she used to always crack this joke and be like, white people are in Europe, black people are in America, I'm somewhere in the ocean.
Yeah,
She's like,
100%.
and that's sometimes what it feels like for mixed race kids. They don't have that sense of belonging to a specific something.
Yeah.
And especially because of that one drop rule, sometimes they're not allowed to acknowledge their white side because of that single one drop rule. And then when they also
What's
go to
the one drop rule?
one drop rule is like back in the days with all like slavery and all. If you had one drop of black blood in you, you were classified as black. Doesn't matter how small the percentage is, one drop
I didn't
classified
never
as
knew
black.
that, to be honest.
So it's a case where it's like, so when they're around white people, that one drop rule, they're not allowed to be classified as white. But then when they're around black people or people of like different culture, they also don't fit in because they don't understand the culture and they weren't raised with the culture. It's not fair. And these are all things that these mixed race kids are also dealing with. So as much as we didn't touch on colorism that day, I don't want you to think that we don't acknowledge it, because we've lived it. We've all lived it to some sense. But it's a case where it's like, we can't keep having these negative conversations because we're not healing anything.
Yeah.
And yes, it does suck that we're not being picked, but I do think things are starting to get better. I have hope that they're getting better.
Yeah.
Like having producers like Tyler Perry. I know there was things going on this year where Taraji P. Henson came out and she was talking about all these insane movie roles that she was in, and she was not being paid as high as other people. And it's crazy because her talent is wild.
Yeah.
And watching her do that and go through that, it's heartbreaking. But then you also see, here's Tyler Perry, which is a black man, babe.
Yeah.
A black man who is uplifting these people. Now, some of these movies are crazy. But you know what? All black people watch them because we're all trying to support.
Yeah, we're all trying to support
get-
and do our thing. And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to sound cringy saying this, but I was listening to this podcast by Rob Dahl Jr. Love him. He's amazing. The mindset mentor. And he was like, be the better you want to see in the world. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? You know when people say, oh, the world is bad, people are selfish. Have you been selfish this week?
Yeah.
When people say, oh, like, people don't take accountability, they like, you know, all that stuff there, like, did you take accountability for the actions or the bad things you've done? Or like, these CEOs are so like, they're stealing money. And I was like, did you, you know, do something that you knew benefited you and would, you know, not benefit someone else? Do you know what I mean? Like, when I saw the Nala baby video, like, at the end of the day, the people in the video were black.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It like so it was still representation. Obviously, it might not been no, it might not have been representation that you would have liked. However, it was still representation. There was still black men in that video, having um relationships with their daughters, like active
Mm-hmm.
relationships, and it was beautiful to see. And obviously, it was tainted a bit, and I do understand the discourse or whatever, but it's kind of like I think personally, black people should stop giving out to other black people online.
Yeah.
I think we should practice criticizing each other behind closed doors.
Yeah, I think as well, sort of touching on that too. Like when I was younger, we all know I grew up with with the white side of my family,
Mm-hmm.
and I lived in a predominantly white area, and I had really good friends. But when, like, for the white people, I wasn't light enough. Do you know what I mean? I was black. Do you know what I mean? To black people, I wasn't dark enough, and I didn't have that education back home because I was growing up in a white family. But I remember, like, I used to put tan on. Do you know what I mean? Because I genuinely thought, oh, I can do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, the identity crisis was absolutely real.
Crazy, yeah.
And I remember just always sitting there and like never sort of seeing someone that was the same as me. Like, because mixed race kids back in my day anyways were like non-existent. Do you know what I mean? There was very few of us, and we probably all knew each other.
Yeah.
And I think, like, being like the younger me, if I was like a child now, it would probably be really nice to see other mixed race kids on the TV.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
representation,
Because
yeah.
like there's
Yeah, true,
representation.
That's an aspect I didn't think about because obviously everyone's so individualistic. It's always me. I want to see me. I want to see this. But what if the light skinned children want to see other light skinned children on the TV? They want representation.
That was my
So
point last week.
imagine there was like a flip where like cool all I was seeing on TV
Yeah,
growing
I
up
think
was
that's what
that's actually
sometimes
so
people
we
tend to
have I
forget,
didn't
because
even think
it's
about that.
like when you're fully black, you have a sense of community.
Mm,
Like growing up in Carlo, like I was a very confused black girl. Very, very confused because once again, I grew up predominantly in a white area.
Yeah.
And even though I did grow up predominantly in a white area, thankfully, I didn't grow up somewhere that was very racist. So it's like my parents were two extremely hardworking people. So when I'm in school, I'm around white people. When I'm at home, around my siblings, but we're all in school with white people.
Yeah.
So I took on a lot of white traits. Like
Yeah.
one of my best friends now absolutely hating my guts when I was in college because I met her at this basketball tournament and the black girls came up to come say hi to me, which is not something I'm used to because I didn't grow up with that many black people. And I was very coldish because I was kind of like, who are you people? Why are you talking to me? Where are you from? So they just thought it was really, really, really rude. And now fast forward a couple years, now they're like, we wouldn't have expected you to have been the same person because I feel like I didn't secure my identity in being black until I was in university when I was surrounded by black people from all over the place. Because when I grew up in my town, I was that one black girl in my class all the time. All the time. So even like with learning Yoruba and things like that, I didn't start tapping into that until my adult years when I had friends who would speak it around me. And then it's a thing where it's like with the colorism, I completely get it because I did grow up not being picked for certain things being black. Or even with the black guys, because we grew up in such a small town as well. We all knew the black guys. Everybody knew them. So there's no way we could all be dating them. And then on top of it, they were picking the lighter skinned girls because at that time, that was what was also all over social media. So I completely understand what these black people, what the black women are feeling currently at the moment. But it's a thing where it's like, I can't sit and dwell in misery and continuously like hold it. I'm going to the people who do love me and who want to be around me. I am dating the black men who want to date black women because there's plenty of them. You just gotta find them. Yes, it sucks that it's the same people constantly in the media, but all we have to do is work together as a community to break those things.
And
so, go on.
Yeah, and I think as well, like just touching on that, we're all blending. Like blended families are a real thing these days. We don't all have to be from the same place, like the same area or whatever. Like I think it's good that like there's all sort of different walks of life within your family because it educates you, it lets you grow, it lets you sort of just see the world in a different light. I used to always think I had to choose, like just like what you're saying with identity crisis. I always thought I had to choose like one side. Do you know what I mean? I had to either be white or black. And it's so hard because it's like my whole life I grew up white, but then I found my like black side. Is that even something that someone says? But do you know what I mean? Like I saw, like I found my
Yeah.
other side. Do you know what I mean? And I realized there was more to me that my
Mhm.
family could never give me because they
Yeah.
didn't understand me.
Mm-hmm.
And I love both sides, like especially like just being around my family in older years. I'm like,
Mhm.
I love that part of me, and just because it's completely Caucasian Irish
Yeah.
doesn't make it any different to me. Like that's who I am. Do you know what I mean? And like definitely, I'll cook African food.
Yeah, you can.
I'll try. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And that's what that matters.
And my mom probably won't like it because it's too spicy, but I enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it's
And
trying
no
to
one
find
can actually tell you
no
what
nobody.
you can, who you can't be, who you can be, what you can't eat.
You're
who you
allowed to
can
be
eat.
both.
You're allowed
Yeah.
to be
You're
whatever
actually
you
both.
actually want
Yeah.
to be. Yeah.
And I think as well, it's giving yourself that grace,
Mhm.
but you don't have to choose. And I'm happy to be on this journey. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm
Yeah.
happy to see my new identity
Yeah.
and be happy within my skin.
Mhm.
Like I don't have to conform to either side because
yeah.
I'm mixed race. I've seen it from both angles,
Mhm.
and I'll choose the path that I want to go down.
Yeah.
100%.
I have a weird question to ask you girls. What kind of woman are you? What kind of black woman are you, essentially? 'Cause I feel like growing up, right, it's when I was younger, the type of girl I was, because I was so insecure and I didn't have people around me like telling me that, I'm beautiful, that I'm okay by myself. I was kind of conforming to what was around me all the time. Till flipping, I could say 2021. So from imagine like from until I gained consciousness of myself, so let's say 2008 when I was 8 years old, till now, like 2021, like I still didn't know who Demi was as a black woman. So then now I'm seeing a lot of stuff on social media, and like obviously true relationships as well, that teaches you some things. Then through the women you also have in your life, that teaches you some things. So Demi now, she's like someone that's like, she loves to look good, she loves a joke, and she loves a good time. She's also very compassionate because she's seen a lot of people struggle and she's also struggled. So she doesn't like to see other people struggle. So she's very emotional and very, is it empathetic?
Yeah.
Empathetic.
Very,
Yeah.
I like to feel and I like people feeling good. So like that's the kind of like woman I would say I am. I'm confident, still learning, to have more confidence. And I I love one thing about me. I love and respect women from all ethnicities, from all walks of life, because it's not easy being a woman. And I'm not saying it's not easy to be a man. Please, because for you, come on, get me. I'm not saying it's not easy, but like obviously as a woman, I understand the struggles of a woman and like what women actually go through. I saw this woman on TikTok. Sorry guys, I'm gonna let you.
No,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead,
let you go.
go.
This woman on TikTok was like, if you grow up with a naked mom, before you jump,
That took a weird twist.
with so a naked mom basically, when your mom is comfortable walking around like naked, like
Oh, that's my mom.
yeah, like do you know like a woman that's like confident walking around? My mom used to give out to me. Sorry, mom. Mom used to give out to me naked. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, like when you grow up with a woman, when you grow up with a woman like that, you kind of like you kind of see the human being. Like you kind of see them at their core. Do you know what I mean? Like and so when I'm around other women, like I just see like literally just a girl. So then even other people, other women try to do me dirty or like, they look at me weird on the street. I'm like, she's probably going through a period. She's probably going through this.
Yeah.
Or she doesn't like me. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like it kind of like, I don't know how to brings me down to earth. So that's the kind of woman I am. Top that. I'm joking.
I was gonna say, you've really given us something to think about here.
Yeah, like what kind of woman are you? And it's easy. You can gauge from the people you have in your life, the women you have in your life, the people you've attracted.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you've done. Like look at your hands. What have you done? What have you accomplished? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for me, I've been surrounded by very, very strong women. My sister, my older sister, and my mom, both very strong-headed women. I think my over independence comes from my mom because I've watched her work so hard to get me everything. I've never lacked anything growing up ever. Like we've had those conversations where it's like I grew up with Disney Channel. We've had the PlayStations. We
Way to
had
come.
Okay.
Yo, like
Hit it where it hurts.
Right,
guys.
like where she
I grew up with Sky.
Whoa.
I grew up with the Wii, the PlayStation.
I grew up with that stuff sometimes.
No,
I grew up when Nickelodeon turned into MTV at 9 o'clock.
That's so funny. But it's like I grew up and like I I mean, my mom, every single year, like the way she would do is, Argus had this thing where it was like an insurance program. So if you bought a device, you could get it insured. And next year, you could decide to trade it in, add a bit more money, and you get the latest thing.
Yeah.
So every single year, we had the latest gadgets.
Which is so
Like
good.
every single year.
Yeah.
Like the house I lived in was insane. It was massive. Like I've not lacked growing up. So I think that's where I get my over independence and my strive for perfection from, because I saw everything that my mom did. So it's like, if I can see what my mom did, and she didn't have the college degree I had, she didn't have the growing up that I had, why can't I not do better? And it's like, I also need to do better enough so that she can chill, because she's done a lot.
Yeah.
She's done a lot. My sister is one of the hardest working women I've ever met in this life. There's one point where she had 2 jobs, and I was like, how? I'm complaining about this one job I have. So it's like, sometimes when I see how much she's working and all the achievements that she has, like her car, her house, with her kids, I'm like, you're literally superwoman. So that's definitely where I get my over independence and hardworking side of my character from.
Yeah.
I think growing up, I did feel like I grew up quite white. Like I remember they used to nickname me Malteser, brown on the outside, white on the inside. Yeah, no,
I
like
got that one before.
you got that too. Yeah, Oreo or Malteser. That like literally, like I was so white growing up. But then when I got into college, I saw a whole new sense of life. And like it was crazy.
Yeah.
But even at the point where I realized that I was blackity black was Black Lives Matter. And when that happened, and when NSARS happened, and just seeing how white people just had the privilege of never having to understand what those things were, or the fact that they would never go through it. Because I remember when Black Lives Matter happened, it was during the pandemic, and people were being so, they were just being so mean about going outside. Why are people outside striking? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? And I remember commenting back to someone online being like, you're scared for like sickness and all of this for the first time in your life. Imagine these Black men and women who are fearful every day of their lives for just stepping outside their front door because they're hated so much because of what they look like. And I think that was the figure point where I was like, oh my God, like I need to learn so much about where I'm from. I need to know more about Africa. I want to do better for back home because it's like I've gotten this privilege to be here, to be able to do the things that I'm doing, whereas a lot of people back home don't. There's a lot of people suffering. A lot of people don't have the privilege I have, where I'm actually able to walk out my front door and not be worried that someone's going to shoot me. So at that point, that's where I was like, oh my God, I'm blackity, blackity, black. So it's like, as much as, you know, we be giving out about niggas and shit, you know, about our men, we love you.
We love you.
We love you so much, because it ain't easy for y'all. And like, I think it made me gain a certain amount of respect, because it's like I started to see, even though I grew up predominantly white and I didn't really grow up in that sort of area, by the time when BLM and all this stuff was happening, my brothers lived in the UK, and I remember my little brother got arrested one day for, there was a fight that broke out in school, and he was just standing and he had a hoodie on after school, and they put him in a car. It wasn't for the fact that I think a principal came out and was like, he's a prefect, like he's not part of this. That was the only reason why they let him go.
Which is crazy.
And then that's when I started to cook, and I was like, this really is happening to my brother. It's like, that's my baby. Like, my brother is not violent.
Yeah.
This is crazy. So that really put the fear in me. So it's like, I feel like the older I've gotten, the more African I've gotten.
So you're
even
an
with the
African woman.
cooking.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm low-key becoming my mom, because the older I got, the
You're
more
becoming
I
your
understood
mom.
her. Yeah, I'm not just looking like her now.
I
I'm
think
high-key becoming
slowly,
her.
like that's the thing, like becoming your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want it to happen, but it
with
happens.
a little bit of improvements here and there, you know?
Yeah, with like iOS 15, you know.
iOS 15,
Yeah.
little update.
Literally,
You know?
like I'm
Refurb.
literally becoming.
Literally becoming my
Yeah.
mom.
How do you guys feel? We're gonna touch on you.
Yeah, go
How
ahead.
do you
go
guys
ahead.
feel about becoming your mom? I feel like
I'm okay with it, because my mom's a great
no,
person.
facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, if I'm any, like, even
Any mom.
half, if I'm half of what my
Mom.
mom, what the woman my mom is, like, I'm doing just fine, to be honest.
No
like,
facts.
Yeah.
I hear it. Like my mom she's so strong. She's so smart. She's very spiritual. Like she holds on to
Your
God
mom?
like for her dear life.
When I think of your mom, and all the peace she exudes. I'm like, sometimes I've even sat there and it's like, I can't be angry because I know Auntie's just about to lecture the hell out of me about peace. Auntie, sometimes no peace, no peace.
You get
bro, like, no, like, now shout out to my mom for real. Like, I feel like because I'm going through. What's it? Flo said I'm overlading currently. So I'm very emotional.
Fair.
If we go into this mom topic, I'm gonna cry. So I'm gonna need to take over.
Honestly, I'm holding back the tears.
Bro. Like, we can't cry on the pod.
I love my mom. Mom,
your mom is so funny. I'm not gonna lie, she's a legend.
I love your mom as well.
I call her mom.
Yeah,
me
you
too.
do.
You actually call her mom. Yeah.
She we actually only we were only speaking about it just there, but like she basically said, like she all she ever wanted was for me to like do well in life and be the best person I can be and like to be as happy as I can be. And she was like, that's all I want to do. Like, I just want to make sure that you have the tools to be the best person you can. And if I have any way of helping that, that's what I'm going to do. Well, that's what I did because we were talking past tense. And that's what I will continue to do. And it just made me like just love her even more. I didn't even know I could love my mom even more, but like she sacrificed for me.
Yeah.
And she did it in such beautiful ways. Like, and for that, that's why I said if I'm the half the woman my mom is, like, I'll die happy because like she's just a selfless woman. But to go back onto the woman that I am before I start tears, I think like I've always been strong and independent, just like you. As you said, Roz, like I've had such inspirational women around me. Like my mom, obviously for one, but like my nanny, my aunties, like every woman around me is so strong, like hyper independent, but like just striving for greatness. Like my nanny in the 50s and 60s in Ireland, like women stayed at home. They stayed minded their kids or whatever. My nanny fought to work, do you know what I mean? Like to the extent that it was looked down and frowned upon to work, do you know what I mean? She set up so much organizations in theater, like to like so people could actually have their passions and like do what they needed to do and giving them an opportunity to be as great as they could be. But I think from seeing such amazing women in my life, it has always taught me that I can be whoever I want to be. With a little bit of work. But yeah, no, I think for me, I've always been like outspoken. I've always been a bubbly, smiley girl, kid, woman, whatever you want to call it. And I think throughout the years, like especially in my teenage years, I experienced a lot of loss at a really young age, and it shaped the person I was. And in the early years, it was actually probably for the worst because I was outspoken and I was bubbly, but I used my outspokenness for the wrong reasons. And I was so angry at the world. But I think if I hadn't experienced that loss, it wouldn't have made me value being so open now. So now I can sort of sit there and I'm not as outspoken as I was before because I know that my voice has meaning and I don't need to always shout on everything or like be so negative about things. But for me, going through life, I think the type of woman I am is I'm so passionate. I am empathetic. I'm going to steal your word as well, Demi, because I'm so empathetic and I just want the world to be good.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like, and it's such a naive way to think sometimes, but I also really like don't ever want to lose it because I don't want to be a cynical old woman and being like the world is so bad, like it's never gonna work out. And one of the things I always two things that I always say is that like treat people the way you want to be treated. And if you can do that in life, like it's actually it's the best way to be. And like if you can treat people the way you want to be treated, it means that you actually have to put yourself in the other people's shoes and understand that, you know what, like okay, they might be doing negative things towards me, but how are they feeling? What is actually going through their head?
Word for word, bar for bar, girl.
Do you get?
Exactly. That's
and it's like seeing people for that, like your own
human in them.
You get me? And your own problems are always going to be the worst. Do you know what I mean? Like
to you,
and it's like once you have that ingrained in your head, it's sort of like, okay, well, that sort of makes sense why people do that. And it is like, I do have like a forgiving heart in that sense, because do you know what? Like, it actually causes more stress, more anxiety, and more anger on yourself if you hold on to hate. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes I probably need to get a bit better at it, because sometimes the heart is too forgiving, but yeah. But yeah, and I think, yeah, that's the person I am. Like, I always strive for greatness, and being a mom now is being a mother. Being a mother, like, I genuinely relate to my mom so much, because oh my god, baby T, I love you. But I think, like, I genuinely, like, want to do the best for my family, my child, and everything like that. But I want to do the best for me, so I can give the best to my kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, like, you know what, the past, like, postpartum is not for the weak, guys. But I'm getting there, and you know what, I'm strong, I'm resilient. And
I think
yeah,
you kicked its ass, to be honest.
To be honest.
the journey's just begun.
And I love that, girls. I was gonna say we'll do the intro.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we got in. No, we just had to get in real deep, real quick.
But welcome back to GTG. You know the vibes. Your weekly subscription to the gist.
And we are back with another episode with just us. You know what? Listen. I'm biased.
They wanted depth, so we brought it.
Yeah.
I'm
so
biased.
You get to see us.
I love when I get to sit on the pod with you girls.
Yeah.
Because just to block out the noise. Do you know what I mean? Just of the week. Tyler Perry, I saw that Tyler Perry allegedly lets his kids fly commercial and gifts his kids on Christmas, allegedly, Legos and books. Because they haven't worked as hard as.
How old are the kids, do we know?
I'm not too sure. I can look it up quickly.
Okay.
But what was you guys' thoughts on that? Like,
commercial flights.
Yeah, like, obviously he's very wealthy.
Like, he can buy a jet wealthy, but Gordon Ramsay does the same.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta touch grass. Have you ever heard that saying?
No, I haven't. What does it mean?
Touch grass, like, you gotta touch reality sometimes. You gotta get back down to reality. Touch grass. And sometimes, like, just because you have money and you come from a wealthy family doesn't mean that you should have to live wealthy. Like, you should humble yourself and, like, don't let it get to your head.
Yeah, true, I agree. His son is 9 years old. Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name because he's a child.
Yeah.
But, like, I agree partially, but I also do want my kids to understand how good life can be.
Yeah.
But they can see how good life can be.
It's a bit of balance.
It's true. Like, to be honest, when raising kids, like, you can actually kind of, like, you help them see the world.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I wouldn't gift my kids books and Legos. They would get books, but, like, I'd like to tune into what they actually like, to let them know that, like, the world is your oyster. You can actually make decisions. However, like, it would be controlled decisions. I feel like, I won't lie, this might be kind of controversial, but I don't think kids should have that much choice. Very, like, maybe under 10. Like, there shouldn't be that much choice. There could be choice, let's say, if you're attracted to a sport, a certain toy or whatever. But when it comes to eating, you're gonna eat.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't choose.
Yeah.
Because one thing my mom did with, like, one of my siblings was, like, she asked them, "Oh, do you want to eat now?" No, it's you're gonna eat now.
Yeah, 100%.
You can decide where you want to eat now, but you're gonna eat now. But, like, do you know what I mean? That kind of, like, choice aspect. But what would you guys' opinion be on that?
Like, I think first of all, what you first said about books, I think we all need to start reading more books.
Yeah.
Myself included. Because sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, like, what am I learning? Like, I'm learning, like, people think you have to go to school or go to college to learn, but you can actually learn independently, and you can educate yourself on so many things. Doesn't have to be maths, doesn't have to be your, like, a live do you know what I mean, religion book, do you get me? But it does need to be like I look at my granddad. He is old-ish, but he's aging like fine wine. That man is always learning and educating himself. And that's why his brain is so pure. Do you know what I mean? Because he doesn't drink, doesn't eat salt as well. But anywho, it's like he like is always constantly reading, constantly seeing how he can like just elevate his mind.
Yeah.
And I think with kids, I think because we've been on social media for so long, our brains sort of get used to like quick information and just swiping. And like, yes, social media is very informative as well. But yeah, there's nothing like a good book.
I'm between
There's
4
nothing
books
like
right now.
really.
Having a blast.
She
Like,
is.
let's say for example, there's one book there's a book right now. I'm actually reading Seabree. Shout out to Michael. And I read that on the bus. Like that's my escape book when I want to like learn something like to change my life. So I'm in between How to Unfuck Your Finances. Excuse my French. Ego is the Enemy, and Women Who Think Too Much. Those kind of help me with my mind, but also let me learn and observe myself, observe other people. And I think those are the only books. Those are the only books I'm in between right now. Because then I need time for series.
You
For
get
series, I hear it. Here's a couple of celebrities
Mhm.
who don't plan on giving their kids much. So Shaquille
What do you
O'Neal,
mean by much?
as in they ain't planning on leaving their kids anything.
None.
Like literally, Shaquille O'Neal apparently what he says is, "We ain't rich. I'm rich," which is he's correct. That his kids haven't worked for it, so it's not a we situation. It's
that's
a
crazy.
I'm rich situation. Yep. I'm trying to find like okay, so we've got Akon.
Mm-hmm.
So he emphasizes that his duty as a father keeps him responsible and accountable, which he wants to pass on.
Crazy.
So he doesn't want his kids to lead to entitlement or lack of motivation. So Tyler Perry as well says that he'll leave his legacy to his son, but only if he really wants it. Jackie Chan is leaving nothing to his kids. He said it's going completely to charity. 100, it says here estimated 130 million. He's giving it all to
Jackie
charity.
Chan has me there, like, because it's charity, your kids.
Yeah,
What do you
sure.
guys think? Drop in the comments, like, charity, your kids.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's also someone else. I think Bill Gates was another one.
Yeah, is that to stop like nepotism, like nepo babies?
Yeah.
So it's like
And
kids
Bill
that
Gates' net worth is 122 billion, and he's not planning to turn over his fortune to any of his kids.
Where's it gonna go?
yeah. But I'd say all of his kids have trust funds.
Yeah.
No lie. Do you know what I
Like,
mean?
I don't think any of them will actually leave their kids to suffer. They just don't want to spoil.
You know
Yeah.
what I'll do? I'll do a ghost St. Patrick. You finish
Oh,
uni,
once
son.
you're 18.
Yeah, no, you finish uni, you graduate with uni, and you pass it with like
Mm.
2-1. But if you get a 2-2, I'll allow
Yeah, you
2-2
get
minimum.
50%.
Do you know what I mean? And then like get a job. Then the money can be yours.
Yeah.
Get a job. You have to work on it for 2 years. Then you can get them. Like,
Oh,
I understand that if
yeah.
I was very, like, by God's grace, we'll all be wealthy in Jesus' name. But
100%.
if I wouldn't just not give my kids something. I'd obviously let them work for it so they understand the value of,
yeah.
To
working
understand the
for
value of money, yeah.
Daniel Craig as well. So the guy who did James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says inheritances are distasteful. Gordon Ramsay, as I've mentioned, he says his money is definitely not going to them, and that's not in a mean way. It's to not spoil them.
You know what I was thinking, yeah. Oh, so you're gonna say something? Go ahead.
I think sorry, no. What I was gonna say is they're saying that the money's not going to them. So I think what they're saying is they're not just gonna hand it over. Like the kids actually have to do
They need
something to
do
earn the
something
money.
to earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashton Kutcher said, growing up, he saw rich people as evil.
Wow.
That's really funny because he's rich now. But anyways.
I don't see rich people as evil. Obviously, like, a part of you would kind of like be jealous of the lifestyle they have attained. However, when you get to a certain point and you acquire knowledge, you realize that cool, like, money is good, but it's not all good
Money
all the
is
time.
also
More money, more problems, for real.
not just even
Yeah.
money, more problems, but money is power. Power in the wrong hands is not good at any stage. And I think that's probably what their biggest fears are because it's what you use with the
Money,
power
yeah.
of your wealth.
True.
Yeah.
I was thinking about something. Basically, I as a woman have to enjoy my life. I have to enjoy it very much, a lot.
Yeah.
Because when I have kids now, I don't want any pim of regrets or, I had you, I didn't get time to finish, finish having fun or whatever. I think as adults, like, I think before, adults, that don't have kids yet, whatever, like, you have to enjoy your life to the absolute fullest. Because I think when you don't do that, you have kids then, and then you're seeing your kids live life and be so young, and then there's a bit of like envy,
Resentment.
resentment, a bit. I don't want to grow up with that, because I literally thought about myself. Like, I feel like
I
if I don't enjoy myself very well,
I think
I
it
might be.
depends on the person because
Yeah.
like something I used to say with my mom is my mom lives her life through me.
Yeah.
It was
True.
hence it's one of the reasons why I always got the best of the best. So it's like I remember for like my Debs, like growing up, my mom would have never had a Debs coming from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Guys, my dress, gosh, I sound like a spoiled brat, was from I don't know if you guys know this dress shop. It's called NewYorkDresses.com. My Debs dress was like about €500.
Jesus.
You have a girl.
Bro.
It was about
That's
€500.
tea, though. I love that.
Like I remember like showing up to my Debs and I was literally the front page of the newspaper. It was like this teal like color. And the thing that is so funny is that like when my Debs was coming up, I remember just looking around being like, oh, just looking online at dresses, and I spotted this dress and my mom fell in love with it. So she got it, point blank period. It didn't
Love
matter if
that.
I changed my
Wow.
mind.
That's so good.
Like
Shout out to your mom for real.
it was my mom was insane woman. It was literally this teal one shoulder dress that it was like completely fitted and it had a peacock coming. So the back of it had a peacock coming all the way from the top of it all the way back with a train. So like the peacock feathers were the train of the dress.
Yeah.
So literally my backside was the front page of the newspaper after my Debs. Like my
Wow.
dress was I wonder if I still have it at home.
You should give it to me. But
Yeah.
to like
Gotta
finish
find it.
off, the reason why I said that, because I remember why I said it, is because in case that, God forbid, there's ever a situation where I have to die for my kids.
Yeah, see, like I still look at it and it's like, as my mom is an example, like I know she didn't get to live the life that she could have lived, which I like. I'm always
But she's
encouraging
doing
her
her best
now,
way, which is really
yeah,
beautiful.
like I even encourage her now to live her life because I don't think your age defines when you should
Yeah.
have enjoyment.
True.
You know,
True.
so you didn't have
True.
it when you were in your 20s, but okay, like mom, now you're in your 50s
What
and
can
you
you do?
still look fine as hell. So
Yeah.
go out there and party. My mom is going to clubs. She's going out to dinners.
I
She's
love it.
catching
Yeah,
flights.
she's doing what she needs
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, my mom this year has
But
traveled more than
you know what
me.
she did when she was raising you guys. She
Yeah,
did
she
a good
sacrificed
job,
so much.
so
yeah.
she can now actually just chill
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
and it's so
Yeah.
beautiful. Like your mom can even, hey babe, I need this. Okay, mom, take it.
Yeah, I won't lie. She does that now. When she
Yeah.
tell me she want for Christmas designer sunglasses, I can't say no.
Yeah.
How can I say no when look at my Deb's dress was €500?
Yeah.
Like, how can I say no? I had the best of the best.
That's so
I
good.
was an expensive child. Damn.
Yeah. Shout out to the niggas that is going to marry Ross. And next gist of the week. So TikToker unboxes designer items from DH Gate for Christmas. So this TikToker called Izzy Daniels, she was unboxing her Christmas gift, and it was a Hermes bag, right? Now, see, when you're gonna get designer, yeah, make sure if you're gonna get a fake designer, you have to be very careful. Allegedly, by the way, this is all alleged. Cool. The Hermes that she unboxed is very, very rare. Very rare. Like, you know what I mean? Very, very rare. But do you know where it's not rare? DH Gate.
Oh.
So obviously DH Gate has green, and obviously they were like gold hardware. Like gold hardware is never a thing; it's always silver. So obviously they
Yeah,
were like,
gold hardware for Hermes is very, very rare.
yeah. So obviously they saw like, okay, this is fake and stuff like that. But obviously they gauged her lifestyle and what her parents do and whatever, and they realized this shit is from DH Gate. So there's been a lot of like, backlash.
Did she respond?
I don't think she responded,
No,
but I think
she's never going to respond to it because
Yeah.
there's no point in her feeding into it because
Mhm.
she has to come clean if she acknowledges it.
Mhm.
But it's like, what do you guys actually think about that whole DHgate
Ain't
thing?
nothing wrong with a bit of DH gate. Ain't nothing wrong.
I genuinely don't judge people who do it.
I don't judge people who do it either. I feel like
I won't do it, but
Mm.
I don't judge you for doing it.
yeah, I don't know. Like personally, I feel like when it comes to designers, I don't know how to describe it, but like I'm more priceless than the designer. I'm more worth than the actual designer. And
Yeah.
usually people get designer to like, try and impress other people. But if I want to get a designer item, I want to be able to work for it. Like to a point where like I can get it and it's nothing.
Yeah.
What you're saying is that you getting a designer, you basically equate it to like you rewarding yourself for an achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like it's
why
a
I
goal
see it.
for
Yeah,
yourself.
like
Makes
I
sense.
don't want it
Yeah.
to ever be something where like I'm
Like,
trying to look cool in front of people.
Where
and-
Exactly.
like that. I'm
See,
not.
that's where I'm two minds about it. Where I'm for it is for the sense of people who most likely can never afford
Afford it,
things.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
not everyone is privileged in
Sometimes
this
the designer
world.
is nice.
You
Like
know,
the design is actually quite nice.
the
I have
design
like a
can be
Van Cleef
nice.
here. And, like I
Yeah.
actually love how the bracelet actually looks like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And some people will just never be able to afford it. So I can understand why they want to have a copy for them to look nice.
Yeah.
But then it also, where I'm not for it is that I nearly feel like encourages, I think, younger minds to strive to have these
Yeah.
designers and claim, like, make it seem as if having these designers, it's what that is so important.
yeah.
But do you not think everybody's wearing fake designers?
Yeah,
Like, do
like
you get me?
I heard
Like,
that some people rent designers now.
They do. A lot of
Yeah.
people are
but
starting to do
Turkey?
those.
Do you get me? Turkey?
Yeah.
Like, everybody's just going
On
around.
TikTok is crazy. Like these, oh, like guys, listen. So I was in work and I was bored, and I was on TikTok, and I came across a live of this Asian woman. She was selling like designer bags and stuff. She was the cutest person ever. I watched for an hour. She was just selling number seven, yes, Hermes gold hardware. Like I'm literally love it. You know what I mean? I literally just wanted to
Yeah.
participate. Like the whole excitement of it, like just being a part. I feel like when you get designer, you just want to be a part of something. That's the thing they sell to you. Do you know what I mean? It's great marketing. It's
Yeah.
great. You
It
guys don't agree?
is.
You guys are looking at me like
It's because I'm not a big designer
Yeah.
designer head. Like
Yeah.
I think like when I tend to go for the designers, it's just because I'm going for quality.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of how they're made.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather than buying something cheap that doesn't last long
long. Yeah.
for
Yeah,
the long run.
100%.
But it's like I'm not that type of person who is like, I need to have that bag, I need to have that bag, I need to have
Yeah.
that. Like nothing in me wants a Birkin.
Mm,
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because if I had it, I'd have to just leave it on the shelf.
yeah.
Yeah, you can actually never use it. Do you know what I mean?
Never, like I wouldn't want to breathe near it because the amount, like there's some Birkins that like you can buy houses with.
Deposit.
Why is that in my
House.
house?
Yeah.
And I've always
In my rented accommodation.
literally, and I've always kind of like,
Oh yeah.
I used to say this when I was younger that it was like I never wanted an insanely expensive designer bag until I had a house. Because what was the point of having a bag with no roof to put the bag in?
Do you
Yeah.
get?
I feel sorry, baby. You.
No, I was just saying, do you get?
I think that like obviously I love a designer bag. There's this one Louis Vuitton bag. Oh my gosh, it is gorge, but it's like 5K.
Oof.
Listen, if you see me with a designer bag, just know I did. God favored me well. I got to where I need to get to, and I got it right. But like, because of the way I am, and I'm learning about money now, like that 5K can do so much more than just this one bag that's just gonna sit in my closet.
A liability.
That can, do you know what I mean? I don't even go out too much anymore to be carrying like a bag. But one day, hopefully, because like I still want the bag. Do you know what I mean? But I just think my priorities right now is just not. I can buy
Yeah.
myself nice things, like within my budget, but I'm
Within
not
your
gonna go
means.
out of my way to.
I think people are also forgetting that fashion is forever evolving. So what you think is hot right now in 5 to 10 years may not be.
Yeah.
You spend all that money on a bag, it could really depreciate unless it's Hermes.
Yeah, it could.
That tends to not depreciate. But it's like some things are not worth it because you may
Yeah.
not be able to afford something now. Does not mean in like 5, 10 years you can't afford it.
I have a question.
Go on.
So let's say, for example, you meet this guy in the club, right? Not kind of club. You meet this guy at like an expensive restaurant or whatever, and obviously you guys date, and you kind of know what it is. Like he's just very wealthy. He likes having you around. There's no research involved. No research, and he's like, "Oh, what do you want?"
I have problems with saying
No,
yes
as
to
in,
that.
this is a hypothetical question.
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical. He's saying, "What do you want?" I'm asking for gold, because gold appreciates.
I was like, yeah, I was gonna say I need
Gold,
something
just
financial. I wouldn't want
something that would
something.
last, like
Yeah.
Okay, let's say it's a friend. You have a very, very rich multi-millionaire friend, and he
Okay,
asks
we'll
you
say
what you want
friend.
for
Yeah.
your
Sometimes when it's
birthday.
a guy that likes you, it's different. It's more interesting. But yeah, we'll say a friend, and he's like, yeah, you have a wild card, 3 things. What do you want?
What do you want for
A
your?
genie thing. Rub the lamp.
Can you buy me a house?
Yeah,
You
I
can buy
think
me a
like or
house.
help you deposit to house.
Give me the money for the house.
Buy me an apartment block.
Because it's
that I
like,
can.
because I'm telling you, like, I'm like, with the
That I
way
can
this
rent
economy
out. Like,
is going,
The reason why
just
I said,
rent it out and
see,
you make
see, a friend
bank.
is different. You see how you changed the friend and you went bigger. You went big, go home. When
Yeah.
you're dating someone like so early, like
I don't like
this,
asking for
you
shit.
ask
Yeah.
for something, but it won't be as big as a apartment block. Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's why I said someone that likes you and you met him at a nice restaurant and he's getting to know you, whatever. When it's a friend, I'm asking my friend for an apartment block. Yes, A boat.
If it's a guy, I probably something like perfume. I wouldn't want to get something that's too sentimental or too expensive that like
Yeah, very true.
too expensive because it's like I just feel like when it's very costly, there's going to be a level of attachment.
It's gonna start
of
giving you
what
contracts for that apartment block.
Yeah, they're gonna feel like they have.
Yeah.
I never want a man to be able to turn around and be like, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Or
know,
you're getting
like a
evicted.
negative way. Exactly. So it's like I wouldn't ask for anything that they
Yeah.
would come back looking for.
Yeah, 100%. Because you never know. Like people can switch up like after
Yeah.
like 2 seconds.
Get
so.
me perfume, thank you.
But do you not think the concept of like designers is crazy? So like brands like make something and then you pay them to promote their brand.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Yeah.
Like
Like Gucci, you're walking around with their logos. Like that's
that-
advertisement. It's free
there's
advertisement.
their free advertisement and you've paid to be an advertisement.
That's crazy.
But
when
I
you
think
deep
the
it.
unfortunate thing is just it's like it'll always be that
It's
because
trends.
it's not just even trends, it's clothes. Like everything you wear is advertisement. Someone will come to me now and be like, Roz, I love this dress. It's Fashion Nova. That's advertisement. Like everything you wear is advertisement.
But you don't have Fashion Nova unless someone like
Yeah.
pulls up their
Like, pulls it
skirt,
up,
you get
yeah.
me? They won't see it. Whereas it's like if you like with like big brands, like not even
Yeah.
big brands, like the likes of like Nike, Adidas, like all these brands.
Yeah,
you
they're
get me?
always tired tattoos.
It's always
Yeah,
there, like
yeah,
you
yeah.
know it.
Yeah, you
It's
know the
like-
logos.
I kind of think I actually like things that don't have print.
Massive
100%.
prints on them.
Like if
too.
I'm gonna have print, it's gonna be in one place. So,
Very
like let's say
very
in the
small
middle,
branding.
very small,
Very small
very tiny
branding.
branding, or like you can't really recognize the branding. Other than that, I don't really like print like that. I like plain stuff so I can wear it with a lot of other things.
yeah.
Yeah,
But that ate, Ree. That ate.
yeah. I have a thread.
Go on,
Rachel.
baby.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Name
on.
a behavior. This is guys.
Behavior.
I know we're gonna love this one. Please, guys, come with your A game. Production, you can contribute as well if you're not too busy. Name a behavior that isn't labeled as a form of mental illness, but you can feel it should be. So I'm gonna read out some to inspire some ideas.
Yeah, please.
Stalking someone you don't like.
I was just about to say Finstas.
Chill with the Finsters.
Sorry.
But using your Finsters to stalk people is different than having a Finster. So you think having a Finster is someone?
Yeah. Well, not having the secret life thing. Like, why are you hiding? What is going on in your life that you have to hide it from everybody? Because just deep it, right? People's normal pages, you have close friends. So if you wanted to post something that you didn't want the whole world to see, you can either send it directly to people's phones, or you can post it in your close friends. But for you to have a whole other profile of you living a completely different life.
Well, to be honest, I have a Finstagram, and I'm not promoting a whole different life. However, like I'll post pictures that I don't put on the feed because my feed is business.
But see, that's different then. You can't really classify that really as
That's what I'm saying. Finsta is you're being specific. I guess so.
Personal page.
Personal page. Yeah, it's different if you have a business page and a personal page. But it's like some people's Finsters are like two different lives. Like, it's like, who really are you?
First,
Yeah.
that's
That's
true.
multi-personality syndrome
That's
right
true.
there.
Another one is sleeping with the lights on.
That's psychotic.
Really?
I don't know how people do that.
No, don't sleep with the lights on.
Okay, I was about to be like,
I did think about that.
How can you? Well, I can understand sometimes people like leave like a little night because might be afraid of the boogeyman or what it is. Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes at nighttime, especially during sleep paralysis or something, you might see something crawling in the corner of the room. So I get wanting to leave a little night light,
a little
Yeah.
light.
but like bright, full blast.
No.
Okay. Someone said people who stop their shopping cart in the middle of the aisle and just walk off.
Oh, that's me. That was me doing the Christmas shop.
I'm screaming.
Sometimes I do that. Like sometimes, like that shit is heavy. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna go and get what I need to get and then put it back.
But I actually got humbled. Like years ago, me and my mom were doing the Christmas shop again, so we never learned. And we were literally down the aisle, and she was like, I don't know. She had to go get something, but we went to like a completely different aisle, and we came back. The trolley was gone. So that was heavy. Like, do you ever get when you just done a full shop?
Yeah.
No,
And then it just disappears.
disappeared.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
I think
punching walls.
people who walk around barefoot.
So she's looking at me and that shade is towards me.
Um,
I don't know. I'm a true African babe.
Like it's very barbaric.
Really?
I agree. I don't like the barefoot thing.
Yeah,
I walk
slippers.
around my house barefoot because it's my house.
But yeah, no, even though it's your house, that's fine. But like, it's just like,
I'm getting so judged right now.
It's
No
not.
matter how much I think I just don't like the feeling of my feet being covered up 24/7. Like it's if I go to bed with socks, I'm not gonna wake up with them on. Also, if like even if it's on the couch, if I have socks on and I'm covering a blanket, they'll come off the
going
minute
to
the
bed with
blanket.
socks, it's crazy.
Some people
Those
do.
things need to be off
Unless
before
like
you hit
it's
the covers.
-2 degrees.
Even if it's
no
minus
socks.
2, what I'm doing is I'm hopping in my bed, turning on my hairdryer, heating my feet up, and then
That's
popping the
even
hairdryer down.
That's even crazy.
I know I am psychotic, like guys. I
That is
know.
even crazy.
I just walk around barefooted.
Yeah. Trying to think of anything else. I think
People
Mhm.
who listen to their phone on full volume on public transport.
okay, but I'm Jamaican.
But it's because her earphones are never working.
Bro,
This is one time I had no
agree with
earphones.
you. It's like the whole.
full volume.
Okay, fair enough.
Crazy.
Full volume is
Yeah,
crazy.
no, my
Like,
AirPods are with me
volume
everywhere.
2, and I do this.
That's fine. No, that's
That's better. That's
fine.
better.
Go off, sis. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
You get me? It's
Yeah.
the people that are literally on their phone and you can hear like them literally flicking through TikTok and you're literally like, because I've turned into a psychopath that I don't listen to any music on public transport anymore.
I hear
I
that.
just like peace and quiet sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's the most infuriating thing in the whole world.
Peace and quiet. Like I'm still sticking in my AirPods for peace and quiet. Like it'll be the noise sounds. Oh my God. I found out how to get that sound thingy from when we were on Where's Your Head At and the guys were talking about it. So you know the white noise and stuff that's built into iPhones now.
White noise.
Oh my God, I love white noise.
People who listen to white noise.
I love white
I
noise.
need silence.
You need
Yeah,
silence.
I need
I need
peace and
No,
quiet.
because sometimes the voices in my head are very loud. So I need something to distract the voices in my head.
like- talk back.
People who eat coleslaw.
I love coleslaw.
What's
What?
going on with coleslaw?
Oh my God, I should have brought you some coleslaw. I had some part of the food I brought. What do you mean? You
Coleslaw,
weirdo. I love
coleslaw is banging.
To you,
I love coleslaw.
shit is so like if gaslighting was a meal, coleslaw.
But you know what I think it is? She also doesn't like eggs. So it's like...
I like eggs sometimes.
Are you even Ghanaian?
No,
I'm a bit Ghanaian, so
Yeah.
not fully.
that's why I like eggs sometimes.
Sometimes.
I
You have
think
to commit to it or all or nothing. But you know the foot thing? I really want to tell you one of the stories that I have from like secondary school, not secondary school, college. One of these guys was raising money for charity. So he did a walk in the day of a life. So he was raising money for kids in certain part of Africa where they obviously weren't as privileged as
Yeah.
ourselves. So what he did was he walked around the whole day with no shoes on. He lived in Newbridge, lads. Like he walked from his house in Newbridge to the train station. Thankfully, his house was quite close to the train station. And then from the train station in Carlo, walked all the way to Carlo IT and walked around school the whole day barefooted.
You know, that's the thing now. There's people are like, I don't know, fighting against shoes or runners or something.
heard of
Like people are going barefoot. I saw someone in what's that place? Conley Station? No, it was one of the stations. I was like,
Yeah,
what's
that's
going
see, I
on?
walk barefoot in my house. I would never do that. Like
No,
that's crazy.
It's like to be at one. It's like to stop. It's to help the environment. I think it is because it's trying to stop like people buying so many shoes consumption. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But crazy. Because supposedly, like your feet aren't supposed to fit into runners. Like that's not the way your feet is supposed to
Be
lie.
like they're supposed to be free
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Buy
and
white foot.
dirty.
Buy white foot.
and dirty.
Because
But like I realized that when how do I describe it? Rough. The bottom of my feet used to get really hard, and like the skin on it would be.
that
really
was
tough,
me
and I
up
have
to
to
this
get,
year.
like,
This babe was the one who
pedicures
started telling me
a
to get
lot.
pedicures.
So then I realized like wearing slippers and whatnot, like doing all these extra bits. Like I like my feet soft. Do you know what I mean? I want foot.
Yeah, I'm not
massages.
gonna lie. Since you started making me get pedicures, like I've kind of kept to them because I like the
don't know.
baby soft
We
feeling.
don't live in that rough life anymore. There's no need to be
No.
barefoot.
No. Or have you ever had the like foot masks?
I have so many of them at home. You want
Oh,
some?
I love the foot masks.
Oh,
yeah.
baby, I've got some at
I
home for
love the
you.
foot
I have no
masks.
literally. There's one time I went to the shop. I've been trying to give them to her, but when
don't
she
like
heard
the
about the
foot
skin
mask?
peeling, she was like,
You,
It's girl.
it's better than any
My
pedicure
feet
you'll ever get.
actually do that naturally.
No,
like,
no,
once I-
no,
not like
no,
this.
no.
Not
It's
like
a bit
this.
disgusting. Like
It
because
is. While your skin is peeling, it is nasty
it's-
to
My
look
feet
at.
do that naturally.
Frequently.
not like every like like every like 2-3 months. I'm like, oh shit, my feet growing or something like that.
Your cell turnover is
No,
mad.
Yeah, no, like it
That's
really does it. Like it actually does, literally does it by itself.
you know, it's not gonna be
isn't.
like the foot mask. Like, just try it once in your life.
Okay, tell us
I have them.
how you got scammed.
Oh my God. Guys, these scammers are taking it to a new extreme. Like, to the point where they nearly got me. But they thought they were smarter, but I was smartest.
Oh,
Right? So, guys, on my way to Latvia, I was in the airport and I get this phone call. And it's from like some 08 something number or 01 number. So I pick it up and they're like, oh, hi, are you Rosalind or the job? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And they were like, oh, this is us from Amazon. We want to let you know that we've seen some fraudulent activity on your account. They're like, can you go into your Amazon account right now? We can see that people are trying to purchase 3,000 euro worth of 3,000 euro worth of iPhones in your account right now. And you have never made a purchase over 500 euros. So we just need to make sure that's not you. So I go in and I don't see anything in my Amazon at first. And I'm like, I don't see anything in the basket. I was like, what are you talking about? You sure it's the right person? And they're like, okay, they're like, go out of it and go back into it. Do you see it now? And I go back in and I'm seeing the basket is literally like iPhone 15, iPhone 16, iPhone 14, this case, this charger, this. I was like, holy God. And they're like, okay, what we need you to do is to go and check in your addresses. And they're like, we can teach you how to get to that part of your Amazon to check the addresses to see if anybody there has popped in a new address so that we can try and figure out who this is. Maybe like we can try catch these people. And I was like,
They're too involved now.
when they started saying catch people.
Yeah,
you know, when they started saying catch people, I was like, this is a bit sus.
It's doing too much.
So I gave them the name of the person there and it was literally like California and all this. And I was like, okay, this is a bit weird. And they're like, okay, they're like, you need to go through your orders and just make sure to like check that nothing else has been like bought, go into your account, all of this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my God, oh shit. Cool, I'll do that. Then something happened where they were like, we need you to download this app because we need to get into the Amazon app on your phone to see if we can collect this information. No, but see, here's the techie thing, right? There's one time I actually called Apple for help and Apple did the same thing. Like I needed them to go into my iPad to fix something because my Apple Pencil wasn't working. And I was on the phone to Apple. I'm like, I swear to you, I was on the phone to Apple and Apple was controlling my iPad. But it was like, they obviously weren't trying to scam me. So they were like, we need to go in to like figure this out. So because that had happened to me, that's when I was like, okay, this is a bit techie. But what I clocked was then when they were there, they wanted me to go into my bank account and like open up my bank account while they were in the app. Not because they could get in, but I think they wanted me to like put in my password. But thankfully for iPhones now, there's no like passwords or anything.
Just Apple ID.
Just Apple ID.
Like
so they were like
Face ID, sorry.
Exactly. So they were proper like walking me through all this. At this point, my brain is on red alert being like, this is a scam. They are trying to scam me. And then they were like asking me, they were like, go into your Revolut. They even came up with such a lie where they were like, these people have basically stolen your IP address on your phone. So even though you've logged out of your account, because they have your IP address and all this stuff, they're like, they're going to be able to hack into your cards and all this stuff. And I was like, these people just aren't making any bloody sense. And at this point, guys, bear in mind, I'm still boarding to Latvia. Like I'm on the plane at this point, still talking to this person. And there's me thinking in my mind, is this a scam? Is this not? Is this a scam? Is this not? Because you do go into my Amazon account, there's $3,000 worth of phones in the basket.
Your Amazon account?
So they're apparently hacking people's Amazon's accounts. So at this point, they then said something where they were like, we're going to need your help for something. What we need you to do to try catch these scammers is we need you to send money to your Revolut. Guys, I switched off my phone instantaneously, turned it back on, went and deleted the app they told me to delete. I moved all my money out of my bank account into my savings account because I was like, just in case they have actually hacked my phone, if they're able to get my cards, I'm moving everything to somewhere that's safe. I went into my Amazon account, deleted all the cards there because they weren't just calling my address, guys. They were calling every single address of anyone who has ever used my account. So my best friends, my brother, my sister, my mom, they were listing everybody's names, everyone's addresses,
did they get that?
everyone's numbers. Girl, it was so freaky. So here's me, like literally on the plane to Latvia being like, oh my God, like what the hell am I going to do? What what if they've already got into my phone? But before I hung up the phone, I said to them, I was like, look, I'm about to hop on this flight. I was like, am I able to call you guys later when I land? And they were like, yes. They're like, so what time are you going to land so that we can call you to make sure that we can get these people? And I was like, no fucking way is Amazon going to ring me in 2.5 hours waiting for a flight. At this point, I'm like, F this. Guys, the minute I turn on my phone when I'm in Latvia, it's their call that comes through. And I'm like, these people are exactly on the ball because I said I would land in about 2 hours. And at this point, I'm trying to also catch the scammers at this point. So I'm in the airport thinking to myself, holy shit, I hope they weren't able to steal much information off me. I'm also trying to get to my hotel. I'm like, oh my God, this is absolutely crazy. They're calling me and calling me and calling me. And then this is something that I noticed, right? The numbers that they were calling me were nearly identical to my own phone number. So, like, I'm literally going to show you here, Ree, my missed calls, right? So, my number is 089, and the first half of my number is 494. Do you see that? 089 494, 089 494, 089 494, 089 494. There's another one. There's another one. I'm actually going to even count it, guys. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 there. That's just the missed calls, not even the ones I've answered. That's 8 numbers that rang me that were pretty much nearly identical to my own
Have you
personal
tried to
phone
call them
number.
back?
I tried to call them back. It doesn't go through. So now at this point, guys, I now have their time. And I'm like, okay, guys. I was like, yeah, guys, I just got to my hotel. And at this point, I'm also talking to my babes, right? And he's like on the iPad. He's so funny. And I was talking to them and I'm like, okay, yes, go ahead and tell me. And they're like, yes, we're trying to get these scammers. Can you go back into your account? They were like, go back into your account and just make sure no purchases have gone up. Because they've now seen inside my bank account, they knew how much I had. Guys, the amount in my basket went from 3K to 10K. They tried to buy
She got money.
10K worth of iPhones off my Amazon account. 10 grand. 10 grand.
Wow.
And at this point,
Ross, I might start to scam you as well. Do you get me? How much do you have in your bank account?
my lifetime savings. You know, some people are saving for mortgages. You know, like people would have that stuff in your bank account.
I don't put that in my bank
Like
account.
in
I
your
have it in all
savings.
different places. I'm one of those people that's so
No,
scared.
I only
hide
have
my money.
one. I only have one bank account.
Really?
She's
Yeah.
very
You have credit
simple.
union.
And my credit union was in Carlo, but I think, did they even close now? I don't know. Or is my account even active? I don't even know. But I literally just have a one bank account.
She's very like
I'm very simple with my stuff.
I
just
know
don't play around.
Rose is
It's all
like-
in like savings.
I mean, she's
accounts and
very
stuff.
difficult to get
Okay,
to.
yeah.
She's very
Yeah.
difficult. Don't try it.
No, it was all like in savings accounts and stuff. So I was just like,
savings accounts.
yeah,
This
no,
is
at this
good.
point when they were trying to do that 10K, there was literally, guys, I think I popped in 150 euro into my general account because I was
Are
like,
you
oh,
at AIB?
yeah. I was like, I'm in Latvia at the moment. I need money to be able to pay for taxis and stuff. So I
Yeah.
couldn't wipe out my bank account clean. I needed a little bit there. So at that point, they were like, yeah. And I was like, just to let you know, when I missed your phone call, I tried calling Amazon back. So at this point, I've contacted Amazon, being like, okay, I had people call me saying they were from Amazon, telling me to download this app and saying that I've been scammed. And they were like, that is not us. They were like, whatever you do not give them your details. So at this point, when I'm talking to the scammers, I'm like, hey, I was like, oh, I tried to get in contact with Amazon since I missed your phone call. You know, since you called me, I contacted Amazon and said the fraud department contacted me. And they were like, oh, no, that's a different department. Are you sure? Which Amazon company were you talking to? And I was like, but if you work for Amazon, would you not all have the same database? You would be able to know who called me.
Yeah.
And what time they called me and what we were talking about. And I was like, oh, so usually whenever these calls happen, do you not say you're recording it for like quality and all that kind of stuff? And they were like, oh, yeah. They were like, but this is like a different department. She was like, hold on a second. Let me give it to my supervisor. So then a guy comes up and then takes the phone.
Supervisor?
A supervisor.
Whoa.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole organization.
It's just one person, just
In a
voice. Voices.
In California with the windows
And then
down.
so the guy comes over and he takes over and he was like, look, ma'am, he was like, what we need you to do is download that app so that we can help you. And I was like, I will not be downloading that app. I was like, you know, something funny that I've seen about that app. I was like, when you go into reviews, a lot of people are saying on it that this is what scammers use to try scam people not to download the app. He hangs up the phone. And guys, at this point, they've called me 20 times that day.
It's crazy.
Like when you go through the list of the calls,
They're
they
chasing the
rang me
bag.
20 times off different numbers.
Crazy.
Do you know she had the audacity to call me again the next day?
Same one.
Saying, "Hi Roz, this is this from yesterday. I know that we had some issues with you yesterday, but like we really do want to help you." And I was like, "It's okay, I don't need your help." And she was like, "We need to get these scammers because if we don't get them, Amazon is not going to be held liable for the money that leaves your account." And then guys, she said the exact amount of money that was in my account. She said, "If we lose so and so, Amazon is not going to be held liable." And I was like, "Sorry, how do you know exactly what's in my account?" And she was like, "Oh, because yeah, we spoke about it yesterday." I said, "No, I never told you how much was in my account."
Like that, like in your savings and all.
Yeah. She told me
That's
exactly.
terrifying.
She
Can you, let
told
me
me.
know can you let me know the number behind it?
She told me down to the T
You know that
what was
number.
in my bank account. And then I was like, and this is when I then started lying. And I was like, just so you know, I work for cybersecurity. So I've already contacted the police and all these numbers that you're ringing me off. And I've also contacted Amazon. So I wouldn't be staying on this phone call for too long if I were you. She hangs up the phone instantaneously.
I'd be sweating.
And this is the second time I've had scammers try to reach me. There was one time about 2 months ago, someone called me telling me that I had a Bitcoin account, telling me that I had €250,000 in Bitcoin. I was like, I've never invested in Bitcoin in my life.
Can I say something? I was in uni. My lecturer said Bitcoin. I went to the website. I saw T-shirts. I said, "What is this shit?" These times, I could be 91,000.
You could have been rich.
Oi.
Yeah, so I don't know where the scammers are coming from me, but y'all still safe out there. Yeah, it was scary.
Jeez, that's heavy, bro. I'm actually stressed now. Like, I'm too.
David's laughing.
Can I say my thing is, yeah, like when I'm applying for jobs, and stuff like that, and other applications or whatever, like half the world has my number.
But you know, that's the thing that's even so scary. Like you
My
can
address,
literally
everything.
you can be hacked from absolutely anything. I even remember in college, I think I got hacked from buying electricity from prepaid power. Like I put in my card. I just recently got this card as well. So it wasn't like I had it for long. And I wasn't as much of a shopaholic as I am now back then. So I wouldn't have been putting my number online. I remember buying electricity on the online system the day before, and then I got paid. And usually what I do is whenever I got paid, because I was paid on a weekly basis, whatever money I had in my account, when I got paid, I would transfer it into my savings and then I'd start spending whatever it was I got paid that week. I think I was sick, so I went to the pharmacy to go get my antibiotics and my card was declining. And I was like, I literally just got paid today. And literally, guys, people were buying birthday presents and birthday cards from moonpig.ie from my bank account because it came up later on.
How did they get your details?
I don't know. I called the bank and I was like, I've just been scammed. And they're like, "Did you lose your card?" I said, "No, I'm looking at it. It's in my hand." So I have no idea where they got my details from.
Sometimes if it's a unsecure, unsecure. Is that a word?
Insecure?
Unsecure. Let me look at that.
Unsafe.
Yeah.
Let's go unsafe. But if there's an unsafe, if like a unsafe website, it means that like your details can be tracked because that's how people do fraud. Like it's just it's just actually finding these cards that have been put.
You're right, babe. Unsecure.
Unsecure.
Yeah. There's also, wasn't there not something, was it last year or a year ago, where the government was being blackmailed to pay a certain amount of money or else all our details were going to be like given?
Yeah.
There was something.
Details, do you know how easy, like, not saying that I'm a hacker or anything, like, but if someone was a hacker, it's very easy for your details to be gotten.
Nowadays, yeah. Like, I won't lie, there was this one time on Instagram ages ago. I used to have, when you want brand to contact you, you put an email there and stuff like that. I put my main email. One nigga actually texted me on my iMessage because that's the email I use for my iMessage.
Oh,
I hated that. That was like an invasion of privacy. I was so annoyed. I went to Instagram. I changed it to my other. That's why I have another email. That's why I have a Gmail.
I have 5 emails.
I have like
I have
3.
5 emails.
I have 3 email addresses.
I have one more now that I'm gonna start using. But like that shit pissed me off.
Yeah. I like keep like I use different emails for different things. Like I always mix it up
Same,
because I'm
same.
just so paranoid.
Yeah, my Instagram is separate from my personal one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
And then I have one as well from even just like growing up. So I have two different things. So it's like my Amazon account. This was another funny thing. My Amazon account, it's on my really old email. So even when they were asking me for, and do you know, this is where they also got me. Here's the gag. When Amazon, those scammers contacted me, they were sending me messages off the actual Amazon system. So you know when Amazon says that you have a delivery and it's like, oh, this person has tried to come to your house, it literally showed up in the same message box. It wasn't like a brand new number. It showed up exactly where Amazon would have normally sent me message. They even sent me an email that was identical to what you know, when you're trying to change your password, they sent me an email that it was like, oh, we need this
Reset link.
code, a reset link. They were like, okay, we're about to reset your
Did you
account.
reset your password?
I reset. I've even when I contacted the actual Amazon, they told me to do the 2-step authentication process.
Yeah,
so now I
that's
do that
the-
now.
And usually Apple is good now. They help you hide your email, and they help you set up impossible passwords for
The
Yeah.
impossibles,
accounts with Face
yeah.
ID and stuff. It's getting so crazy. Go
I
ahead,
did
Whitney.
I did that save and fill, like with the passwords. The worst thing ever. Do you know what I mean? Because
Oh,
I'm
wow.
so bad at remembering
Yeah.
passwords. But I had to reset my Tesco club cards, my Tesco login.
Mhm.
But you know the way when you reset a link, it doesn't have your username. So
Mm.
like I had to save and fill a new password,
Mhm.
but it wasn't connected to my Tesco. So when I was trying to go, like I was literally at the till trying to like get my club card points and I was literally sweating because I didn't have the username wasn't there, so then I had to go into all my passwords and just like try figure out which
Which
was
one
the
it is.
actual password. We got there in the end, but it was just not a
Crazy.
nice time.
So yeah, security is so important, guys.
100%
Yeah.
factor authentication.
Authentication all the time.
Yeah. Now that was so crazy, man. I still could not believe it. And the
Have
fact they
you,
did
like-
it over 2 days.
You reset everything now, yeah?
Oh, baby, it's reset. Do you know what I'm even doing? I'm going as far as once my Amazon Prime is over for this month, I'm switching. I'm opening up a new account with one of my different emails.
Yeah.
And so nobody has it. Because I'm like, where did they get all this information from? Like it was
Yeah.
so freaky. Like my brother even said something was bought off his card. And he was like, Rosalind. And I was like, no, that actually wasn't me. So God knows what else has been happening that's just been coming out of my account.
Yeah.
Swear. Little
Like-
by little.
And sometimes like Amazon, like when you buy, it doesn't ask you to like go into your bank account and approve it.
No,
Mm.
It
they
just
yeah,
goes straight.
straight away.
Yeah.
Which is how they got me, because when they were like, we've seen you never made a purchase over 500, because I was like, that's true. That is so true.
Nowadays, like I'm just so like anyone can trick me, so I just don't believe anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if I go through with it, I kind of gauge myself. I brace myself for the consequences. That's how I live
Literally.
life right now. Like I can believe anything. Like you can tell me something, and a part will be like, this person is lying, or this person could possibly be lying. What are the consequences of believing this lie? Then I deep the consequences. I'm like, I can survive that. You can go
100%.
ahead and lie.
100%.
Or like, I can't survive this consequence, so I'm just gonna, yeah, sure. And then there's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like being tricked.
No.
It's fun though to see how things like play out or whatever.
No.
I saw this tweet, right, and this guy said, sleep is a free trial of death, but with ads.
That is so scary. Because that is so accurate. But you know what?
I love the silence.
No, but it's like, you know, straight away that takes me to like
Mhm.
people having surgery. It's the exact same.
Yeah.
Every time you're put under anesthesia,
Yeah.
you're so close to death is crazy.
100%. So it's the new year.
Oh yeah, that part.
Oh my God, guys.
New Year.
Guys.
What are we leaving behind in 2024? Damn, the silence is
You know, I'm actually quite good, you know. I mean,
I say.
I'm actually all right. Like, obviously, like we've been like this year was like, I rate the whole year in total a 6 out of 10. A lot of things happened. But
6.
yeah,
6.
Yeah.
After all GTG, like
no, 6.
person-
GTG is 5 points. GTG is 5 out of the 6, right?
Yeah.
That 1 point is how life bet me up this. So like
Wow.
GTG was one of the highlights of my year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There I go with those filler words, guys. But other than that, like the year was good, but like because of GTG mainly, and because of like I'm really happy that all my friends like they've done a lot of good things. Like you got a job. A lot of my other friends got a job as well. Like a lot of good things happened this year. So that's part of the 5. That one, I mean, the rest of the 4, oof. But like, what I'm leaving 2024, I don't know. Like, I'm leaving some people. You know, I made some blockages. I made
There you
some
go.
blockings.
Sometimes you need to block people for your
I
own peace of
definitely block
mind.
people.
Block for blessings.
Block for
Yeah.
blessings. Dead ass.
Please, if I'm really disturbing your life, please block me.
Yeah, block me. I probably wouldn't even notice. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro. Really, actually, like getting blocked on the regular. I'm just like, do you ever get when you like go through something, you're trying to find a message or something, and you go,
I can't
oh,
find it.
username unknown,
Mm.
and then unknown user or whatever, and then I'm like, who is this? I'm just like, who is this? And you're
Damn.
trying to figure it out.
Remember.
I go in. If I can't get it in like 10 seconds, I'm just going out.
Okay, I know I'm leaving 24.
What?
Being triggered or bothered by things people try and do to draw me out. I'm not being bothered anymore.
Yeah.
If you try and do something to draw me out, to make me look stupid or whatever, like you're not gonna get the response that you actually want.
I love that for you. I
Yeah,
think
I
That's
like
what
it.
I'm leaving.
I learned that true age. Like, I'm just at an age right now where I don't,
Yeah.
like, I'm too tired to argue with people.
Facts.
Argue with
Well,
yourselves.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I'm going to
you
try
guys-
and leave filler words in
Let's-
2024.
Bro,
Guys, I've been
bro.
Because
trying
I say
fighting
like a
for
lot.
my life.
I say like a lot.
Really stressed.
Filler words are my life.
I feel like sometimes they're okay. Let's say, for example, if I'm like, guys, like I went to the shop and like he didn't even like my dress. Like, how could he not like my dress? Like, could you get me? I think that's okay. No? Okay. Not okay.
Do you know,
maybe-
I get it. But you know what the thing is? Like, I think it's because I don't say that. But I
Like,
think
how
maybe,
could he how could he like my dress? Like, see,
like,
that's
I
it.
say like a lot. But I think with you guys say you get me. You get what I mean?
'Cause I want you to really
But I
understand
think-
what I'm saying.
No, but I think, is that like a Blanche thing or something? Because
It
it's
might-
like,
It's just called a people pleasing thing. I just want everyone to stay focused on what I'm saying.
you get me?
You get me? You get me? Are you listening? Are you
get what I
listening?
mean?
That's
Listening.
literally me.
I'm trying to even think of this. Like, why do I say that? Like, to be honest with you, I think I grew. I think it's not trauma, but I grew up being misunderstood. I felt like nobody understood what I was saying. Like nobody really thought I was smart enough to articulate things or to break things down when they were saying it to me. So when I'm communicating, sometimes maybe I talk too fast. I think Irish people, we talk fast, don't we?
Very fast.
So when we talk fast or whatever, and I feel like I'm looking at someone and I don't feel like they're understanding me, I'll be like, do you get me? And that's actually a genuine question. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now?
Because I never say it.
Because like I don't think we say do you get me just for the we want
Do you
you
get
so,
me?
like let's say for example you finish a sentence that you say do you get me, we'll be like yeah.
Yeah, because it's for. I think the psychology behind it is
Yeah.
people pleasing.
Yeah.
It's to acknowledge. It's for someone else to acknowledge that they're listening to you. I think that's for me. Like,
I
do
like
you get
to be
me?
heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think my filler words are used because there's not a lot going on up there sometimes. No, but I think that
I'm trying to say do you get me to myself. Like, Demi, do you understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I'm keeping myself in check here. Yeah.
I put it filler words. Well, filler words are just filling the silence.
Yeah.
It's actually just being okay with
It's okay
silence.
with
you
silence.
don't have
True.
to fill
That's
the
true.
room with words all
With
the
words
time.
all the time. True.
That's my problem.
Yeah. I hear that.
Mm.
One thing I'm leaving in 24 as well. In addition to that is not needing to talk when there does not need to be anything to be English. Not needing to talk when there doesn't need anything to be said.
We hear you.
Sorry guys, thank you. Yeah.
I hear that.
But I really am excited for 2025.
Yo.
I've been waiting for the new year to come. Like I feel like this year was about, rejigging my mind and,
I'm
knocking
ready
in good foundations of.
I'm ready to relax next year. This year has been
This
This year has
busy.
been
fun.
heavy.
This
Let me
has
It's
been
not gonna
so
be. It's gonna
Guys,
be busy,
can I
bro.
t-
I can already feel it.
Can I
It's
tell you
gonna be
something?
busy.
It's gonna be busy, but because I'm in your life, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Look at me.
because I
Ross,
feel
look
like
at me,
2024.
You're gonna have
Amen.
You're gonna have fun. Like
2024.
yeah.
2024 kept me on my toes. Like
Yeah,
I don't
true.
think
Kept
it
all of
was
us on our
a
toes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was a bad year. Could it have been better? Yeah. Did we have a lot of great times?
Yeah.
But I think what 2024 was for me was that a lot of my hard work I really got to see. We worked hard
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, we
Do
did.
you know today? It actually said because I have this thing that I do for like our YouTube and
I
stuff.
saw
Said we had 80,000 views
saw
this year.
that.
80,000
yeah.
views.
I don't know. I think
80,000.
2024 for me was rediscovery.
Mm,
Rediscovery.
finding your feet.
Yeah, finding my feet again. It definitely could have been a better year in a lot of ways, but I think that's just grown up.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's just grown up and adjusting to grown up life.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of stressors. But to be honest, sorry, I just cut off about the 80,000 views. Like, there's so much
Yeah, there's so much
accomplishments
All of
that
us, what
we've
is wrong with our
made.
English today?
Bro, we need a drink.
We've actually done
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Like, not only have we been doing the podcast, we've been working our 9 to 5,
Mhm.
we've been dealing with life, with family, with friends,
Yeah.
with positives, with negatives.
Yeah.
Like, we've got it from all different angles.
Mhm.
And each week we showed up here.
True.
We gave people
Whoa,
content.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's actually true. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think, I think it was only 1 week where we missed an episode
Yeah.
this year.
Do you get-
Literally.
Maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
But still,
But still,
Yeah, that's still so
considering
good.
for the
Like,
whole
I was
year.
crying like in Roz's arms. Like I was wailing.
Oh my God, I remember that
and
day.
I still showed up to the podcast like, welcome back to GTG, man. You
Do you
know,
get-
you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you girls actually did hold me through though. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so shout out
Sure.
to you. Do you know what I mean? Shout out to you
Yeah.
girls for real.
This podcast, because I'd be coming here tired as hell, but I leave in
Yeah.
a better mood.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good
we
that
do.
we've found something or we've created something with you guys' support as well that like we can fall back on. That gives
Yeah.
us a bit of motivation for life. I make these girls come in and dress nice
Yeah.
every single episode.
Reignites our
really does.
passions. No, I'm so grateful. As much as I feel like personally 2024 could have gone better in a few
Yeah.
different ways, I'm so proud of getting through 2024
Yeah.
with like
Bro.
you girls,
Yeah.
with everything. It's been tough. It's been a journey. It's been the fastest year of my life.
Yeah. I was
But-
25 for 2 minutes.
Bro,
Damn, that's
guys,
true.
I don't even want to tell you guys what age I am next year. I
She's
just don't want to.
24
Yeah,
Again.
I'm 24 again.
and Roz is 27.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
she
21.
said something there the other day, and even she's starting to get me confused on my age. I'm so
Yeah.
confused now.
21, 27, 24.
So what we bringing into 2025?
You girls.
Yeah. Yay, sisters!
We're bringing in good vibes. We're bringing in, you know, cheeky guests.
We're bringing a
cheeky-
live
cheeky
show
good-
that if
like,
y'all
yeah,
haven't gotten your
uh,
tickets to
live
by
show, yes.
now,
We see the Eventbrite.
we
Yeah,
know.
We see the
you guys.
Eventbrite.
We know.
Yeah, no, shout out to you guys for getting your tickets. Yes, live show, more episodes.
Yes,
Um,
and like also guys with the live show, yeah. Something that we just deeped this week is our live show is in February, which is the month of love.
Yeah.
Month of love.
Bring your
Month of
missus.
love. Bring your misses.
Or bring your misters.
Bring your means. We're gonna
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
some guests from the UK. So they're
Mhm.
gonna have conversations and different perspectives and opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah, come down and have fun. And there might be prizes as well that y'all can win for,
Mhm.
you know, his, hers. Y'all never know.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Make
Yeah.
that work. Yes. 100%. Let us know what kind of gifts you guys would want as well in the description box or in the DMs.
You have
as well.
ideas.
Yeah.
I have stuff written down, but it'd be nice to have input, Sha.
Yeah.
And let us know who you want to see at the
Next.
GTG live show.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brands,
Don't say Usher now.
guests.
If
Let
I
us
could
know.
do that,
I
bro.
could do Usher.
Yeah, we want
Bro.
to know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even bring
We
the
have those
GTG live. I'm
connects.
saving Usher for myself. What?
We have those
with the
connects.
cherries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saving him for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
What else we bring into 2025?
just
Myself. Shit. Like
yeah,
I'm
I'm bringing
like,
myself,
Yeah.
bro. Like I'm getting through.
Mhm.
Just
Bigger, better conversations.
yeah,
Yes.
more in depth.
Yeah.
I feel like we can really get in
Factual.
depth when it's just like us. But it does depend on the
Yeah,
guest.
sometimes it's very hard
When
to
there's
go in
4
depth with
people.
certain things when yeah.
But
when
yeah,
we
we
have
can
a
work on that
guest.
anyways. It's just guys, we literally started like 2 years ago. We're actually still babies
We're still
in this game,
babies.
like compared to our counterparts, our
Yeah.
cousins and our other family members in the podcast game.
100%.
But it's obviously a lot of growth has happened,
Yeah.
exponential growth. I think our podcasting skills from when we started till now is crazy.
We've
Like,
done so well.
yeah, it's just good to
Yeah.
highlight that ourselves. But yeah, no, big up. Us.
Yeah. And I think like obviously we shared on the stories that we had to give us feedback.
Yeah.
And I actually really appreciate most of the
very,
feedback.
Very,
most of the feedback. No, but we're not
Real.
gonna
real.
we're not gonna share it on the pod because
No.
it's constructive criticism.
Yeah.
But thank you to everyone
yeah,
who
that
reached
took
out to
time.
give us some constructive
Yeah.
Honestly,
criticism.
really appreciate it. Like, honestly, we've taken it in. We're gonna have an annual meeting.
Yeah.
You know, I'm excited
Oh
for that
my
meeting.
God, yeah. We've got so much to do.
Yeah. So yeah, no, honestly, we appreciate the constructive criticism,
Yeah.
honestly.
And
Yeah, man.
I'm
So,
excited.
guys, thank you guys so
See
much
you
for
next year.
listening. Yeah, the anonymous link is still in our bio in case you want to add more feedback or whatever, or
dilemmas.
you know, any dilemmas as
Advice.
well. Dilemmas. And yeah, guys, I think that's it. Please copy your tickets for the live show and tune in next week for your weekly subscription
to the gist.
Me, I am mad. Shawty in that man when it